Now this Create Cell Bank module is on public domain intellectual property, or IP, and some business ideas built around that. First off, what's public domain mean? And it consists of all the creative work to which no exclusive intellectual property, as I said before, IP rights apply. These IP rights may have expired, been forfeited, been expressly waived, or may be inapplicable. All the works of Shakespeare and Beethoven are in the public domain by the fact that their copyright term has expired. And now here's kind of a kicker, is determining if a work is in the public domain typically requires research of or by an IP professional, because copyrights vary from country to country, and other intellectual property like trademarks, like design patents, like utility patents might apply. Now, a public domain book has no copyright, was created without a license, or has its copyright expired, or its copyright has been forfeited. American copyrights last for 95 years for book, and that's after it's published, for books written between 1925 and 1998. Every book, with some notable exceptions, published before 1925 is in the public domain. Now, it's really important that you check, because copyrights can be renewed and various things like that. So just that it was published before 1925 doesn't necessarily mean that it is in the public domain. Now, Project Gutenberg makes thousands, tens of thousands of books that are in the public domain available in digital form through their website. Derivative works of public domain books, magazines, images, etc., can be created without permission, as long as it truly is in the public domain, and monetized. And that's what the rest of this module is about. So you saw Keep's patent, and this was the image. It had figure 1 and figure 2. I've blown them up on the left, and they are amazing artwork. They describe the invention. As in intellectual terms, they described a preferred embodiment of Keep's mousetrap. And you can see how wicked those teeth are. But nonetheless, let's just keep moving and see some other images. So I typed in 0224445, and I found Krauss's endless chain horsepower. And that looks pretty cool, as far as how things work. And it's got, a description, and it's got, this mechanism nicely drawn with shading and various things like that. In order to draw these, to be a patent draftsperson requires a lot of training, because you have to get the cross hatching just right. You've got to have the appropriate detail. You've got to be able to list the sections and various things like that. But nevertheless, this was in 1880, and it looks kind of cool. Well, then I typed in 0224445. Oh wait, this is, I guess, the second image of that. It's a side view of Krauss's patent. And then 0550949 is Decker's ball player glove. You got a patent on that. 1895, December 10th. And 0633746 is Anderson's bicycle. And it's Again, kind of cool. Now, on the right is the way it was actually done. Now, I cropped it and I rotated it so you could see um, what it really looks like. So, what product thoughts come to mind when you think of these patent drawings and when you see them? Can you envision setting up a business to produce products that are derived from these beautiful drawings? Let's explore a bit of Placeit.net's mock-up site using Krauss's patent image. Now, you can bookmark this site, but what about a mug? Just put that on. Now, I've got it on a little bit at an angle, but somebody might buy that. You know, if you have engineers or inventors in the family, or you want to market to those particular, that user group, they might like this. What about a hoodie? There's the image on a white hoodie. Here's a black hoodie with the image. That doesn't necessarily look as good, but you could envision doing a reverse of that where all the black lines are white and the white background is black, so it stood off on that particular black hoodie. But that's part of the creative process. A sweatshirt, put that on. Well, here's a T-shirt on the right, and on the left is a book cover. Just things that you can do, and they will print up. You could assemble a book with 50 to 60 cool patent images and sell it as a coffee table book, or an innovation journal. Put little images on each page, or a calendar, and you pick the top 12 images and do that. But again, I want to just make sure that you check to make sure that you have the rights to use the images. The last thing you want to do is go, hey, this is cool, I'm going to go use it, and people get upset when you create a derivative work. Now, the mug, the T-shirt, the hoodie, the sweatshirt, the book cover, those are all derivative works of that patent image. Now, Coca-Cola Company, they wouldn't be really pleased with you if you used the Coke bottles image on your mugs, hoodies, tees, because they protect the Coke brand rigorously, and they would get you to stop. And down in the lower rights, their particular patent of the distinctive shape of the Coke bottle. And, again, I'm putting that over here, but, I just showed if you put it on the book cover or a T-shirt, don't do that because you'll get in trouble. Now, what's the economics, of starting a product design business based on old patents? And it's complex. Like I said earlier, in an earlier module, nothing's simple. But assuming you can ramp up and you can sell 5 products in 2 product categories per day. Now, you've got, let's say, mugs and sweatshirts. And that's after you get up to, through the startup period. And you've got a 50% gross margin and a 20% average selling price. That's $100 gross profit per day. Now, gross means not net, and net means you have to take out the expenses and various things like that. But, at least you can, look at the that. Now, if you could sell 10 products per day in those 2 categories, you would double it. You'd go up to $200 gross profit per day. And, so you add in now teas and journals, so you have 4 categories and you're selling 10 products in each one of those, and that's $400 gross profit per day. And now you sell 20 in each of those categories, and you got 800. And let's say you scale everything up by a factor of 10x, And, it can get substantial, but this is a real business, and that would require you to have a partnership with the drop shipper of these uh, custom product manufacturers. So where can you get public domain content other than the uspto.gov? Well, books, there's periodicals, video and audio, of course, the images, there's a lot of government information that's in the public domain. So here's some links. The archive, I already mentioned the Gutenberg.org, hathatrust.org, digital collections, New York Public Library.org, and dp.la, and loc.gov. And of course, there's others, the CIA World Data Book or Fact Book. It's got a lot of stuff. So there's tons of public domain content. Again, just be careful. And, potential products, you can create books, you can create nonfiction, fiction, children's graphic, low content. And a low content book is like a journal, like a calendar, a notebook where you're not actually writing so much as just creating the book, or gift books, coffee table books. In the education space, you can do worksheets, activities, flashcards, games, stickers, posters, what have it. Images, fine art, print on demand, or called POD products, fabric, promotional, games, resource bundles. In the information area, you can do webinar trainings, you can pre-record, you can live cast, podcast, workbooks, blogs. You're creating derivative works. And in the maker space, you can, digital resources, patterns, crafts, do-it-yourselves, recipes, what have you. And this is just a high-level overview. And, like you can have public domain patterns. This is from Instagram, but you can, see the patterns that might be out there, and you can create these patterns, and you can put these on various and sundry products as well. So, in summary, there's many products that you can create using public domain content. But as I've said before, you must check first that the content isn't violating someone's design patent, their trademark, their copyright, any of their trade secrets or other intellectual property. And in fact, that it is in the public domain. But once you have checked, using public domain content can enhance your own product creation or that of your clients. And that is the module on public domain IP business ideas.